Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Well, nobody leaked. Big play. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Right about 20 yards on the pickup. Officially, they'll say it's going to go for 19.
Here we go. 20.
From the gun, a run for Johnson. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. From the gun, here's Newton. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. On 3rd down, Johnson. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points.
Check 55 to Mike. I want that. Give me that ball, defense. Blue. Give me that.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. Oh, shifts past him. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
You can't block me. Lock in. 55 mark.
Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Looking to throw. Trubisky on first down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
Let's go.
They go play action with Trubisky. It's complete to Diggs. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hurt down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
At the Lions, 38-yard line. 180. Alert.
Now a give running right. It's Cook. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again.
Watch the screen.
Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd down, Cook. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive.
Mike 50. Hey, ball. You tighten up.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And they'll be in search of 6 yards here on 3rd down. This is now the 9th play of the drive. Out of the gun, Trubisky. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And now look at him go. He's at the 40, 20, 10. And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Lions touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Santos with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back in their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Looking to throw again on second down. Trubisky. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. Third down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Frank Clark able to record his 5th sack of the season. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A good return there, 17 yards, and the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 77 yards. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. Now Trubisky. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On second down now, it's Cook.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting him to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
46 on his first kick, this one in that neighborhood as well. This is fielded at the 7. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now it's Trubisky. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call time.
And that's caught inside the 35. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. The shotgun snap for Newton. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
To throw again on 2nd down. Newton, open man, he's got him, the tight end Hockenson. 23 yards on the play. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that?
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Santos with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. They go play action. Trubisky. He's got Smith here. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On the carry, it's Cook. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
6-man.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
36 yards on the play.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape, because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They go to Johnson again. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
Come get some. Come on here. Come get some.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Now a run with Cook. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Trubisky will throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll be 2nd and goal. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball.
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Cam Newton keeping it himself from a yard out as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Going deep for Diggs. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. picked off around the 41. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. 11 yards there and a Lion first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Johnson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Second and 11 at the 34-yard line.
Set, buddy. Check 53, Mike. What we got?
On 2nd down, Johnson. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And it's 3rd down.
The Lions on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the ball is knocked out. And the Vikings pick up the football. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet there are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Frank Clark, that is one he will remember. It's sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Now, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. And this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. So right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. He finds an opening past the 40. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready? Mike 50. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We count.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
So after the run for no gain, here's second and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Lions, the win means they'll finish in double digits at 10-6. And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-12 campaign. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's